Okay, so it's ready now?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, Bhanteji.
Yeah, we'll start.
We are live, Bhanteji.
Okay, right. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavarahang samma sambuddho vidyacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisadamma sarati satta deva manushanang buddho bhagavati. Namo tassa samma sambuddhassa. Echa buddha atitha cha echa buddha anagata apachuppanna cha ye buddha ahang vandami sabbada. Natti me sarananganyang buddho me saranang varang yetena satcha vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang. Uttamangena vandehang padapanso varuttamang. Buddheyo kalito doso buddho kamatutang mama. Buddhang yava nibbana pariyantang saranang gacchami. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko vapanaiko pachatang veditabbo vinnuhiti. Namo tassaniyanika sadammasa. Echa dhamma atitha cha echa dhamma anagata pachuppanna cha ye dhamma ahang vandami sabbada. Natti me saranang ganyang dhammo me saranang varang yetena satcha vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang. Uttamangena vandeham dhamman chati viduttamam. Dhammeyo kalito doso dhammo kamatutang mama. Dhammang yava nibbana pariyantang saranang gacchami. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho samichi patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho yadidang chattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyaketam lokasati namo tassa atta arya puggala mahasangasa. Echa sangha atita cha echa sangha anagata pachuppanna cha ye sangha. Aham vandami sabbada nati me saranang ganyang sangho me saranang varang. Etena satcha vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang. Uttamangena vandehang sanganchati viduttamang. Sangheyo kalito doso sangho kamatutang mama. Sanghang yava nibbana pariyantang saranang gacchami. Vipatti pativahaya sabba sampatti siddhiya. Sabba dukkang vinasaya sabba bhayang vinasaya. Sabba rogang vinasaya bhavedi gayukadayaka. Sabba lokang hitattaya paritantang banamahe. Samanta chakkavale swatra gachantu devata. Taddammang munirajassa sunantu saggamokkadan. Dhamma savana kalo ayang badanta dhamma savana kalo ayang badanta dhamma savana kalo ayang badanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Evang me sutang yekang samayang bhagava savatiyang viharati. Jetavane anatha pindika saarame. Atako anyathara devata abhikantaya rattiya abhikantavanna kevala kappang jetavanang vobhasetva yena bhagavaten upasankamitva bhagavantang abhivadetva ekamantang attasi ekamantang titakosa devata bhagavantang gataya jabasi parabhavantang purisang mayam pucchama gotama bhagavantang puttuma gamma king parabhavato mukang Suvijano bhavang hoti, suvijano parabhavo. Dhammakamo bhavang hoti, dhammadesi parabhavo. Asantassa piya honti, santena kurute piyang. Asatan dhammang rocheti, tang parabhavato mukang. Viddasili sabasili, anuttata chayo naro. Alaso kodapanyano, tang parabhavato mukang. Yo matarang pitarang va jinnakang gatayobbanang pahu santona barati tang parabhavato mukang yo brahmanang samanang va anyang va pivanipatang मूसावादेन वंचेति तं पराभवतो मुखं बहूतवित्तो पुरिसो सहिरन्यो सबोजनो एको भुञ्जति साधूनि तं पराभवतो मुखं जातित्थद्धो धनत्थद्धो गोत्थद्धो चयो नरो संज्ञातिं अतिमन्येति तं पराभवतो मुखं इति दुत्तो चरादुत्तो अक्कदुत्तो चयो नरो लद्दं लद्दं विनाशेति तं पराभवतो मुखं सेहिदारे हि असन्तुष्टो वेसियासु पदुस्सति दुस्सति परदारेषु तं पराभवतो मुखं अतीतयोब्बनोपोसो अनेति तिम्बरुत्तनि तस्सा इस्सान सुपति तं पराभवतो मुखं इत्तिं सोण्डिं विकिरणिं पुरिसं वापि तादिसं विस्सर्यस्मिन् थापेति तं पराभवतो मुखं इति हेत अपभोगो महातणो कत्तिये जायते कुले सोचरज्जं पतायति तं पराभवतो मुखं एते पराभवे लोके पंडितो समवेक्किया अर्यो दर्शन संपन्नो सलोकं भजते शिवन्ति एतेन सच्चवज्जेन सोत्नो होतु सब्बदा एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु नो जय मंगलम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन पातु नो रत्नत्रयम् नमो तस्स भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा सब्बित्यो विवज्जन्तु सब्बरोगो विनश्यतु माते भवत्वन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भवतु सब्बमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सब्बदेवता सब्बबुद्धानुभावेन सब्बधम्मानुभावेन सब्बसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सोत्ति भवन्तु ते इमिना पुण्याकम्मेन मामे बालसमागमो सतं समागमो होतु यावनिब्बानपत्या इदं मे पुण्याकमं आसवक्कयं वहं होतु सब्बदुःखापमुच्यतु निब्बानसम्पच्चयो होतु sadhu sadhu. So today's topic is about this evil. All the time we talk about evil, don't do evil, don't do sins, don't indulge in unwholesome. So understanding this evil, unwholesome, sin, they're closely related, all these words. All these sins or evils or unwholesome, they lead to what is called the decline or downfall. That's what the sutta that I chanted. Parabhava. So the downfall or the defeat or the decline, it happens because of the accumulation of evil. Repeatedly you fall into this trap of making evil, performing evil actions, doing evil actions. That will pull you down, that will take you down. Because once or twice you may escape from the immediate result of the evil actions. But when you keep performing those things again and again, then the results, then the negative results are imminent. They have to happen. It's very constant, it's very clear, it's very much seen in the world. Once you say scold some person, he may keep quiet. Or 2 times if you scold, he may keep quiet. If you keep on repeating this, he will rebel. However decent he may be, he will hit back, he will simply rebel. Is it not? The same thing, let us say, if you're addicted to say smoking or drinking, let us say. If you are doing it once or twice, it's okay. They may not get the results. But if you keep on doing it, then that is what is called the accumulation of unwholesome, accumulation of evil. And the repercussions, the consequences, so it will hit back to you, it will come back to you. So then what is the difference between unwholesome and evil? Why I have brought in both these words? Evil is generally considered as an accumulated unwholesome, which is repeatedly done. Unwholesome things, so lying is unwholesome, killing is unwholesome. If you are doing it maybe relatively more number of times, then it's called as an evil. And if its repetition is much more, if it is repeated regularly, far number of times, far more number of repetitions, if you keep doing, then it becomes a sin. Unwholesome repeated, evil repeated, sin. Okay. So in that way, you can understand. There is almost the same meaning is there for all these things, but it is a matter of the intensity. It's a matter of repetition. It's a matter of, say, accumulation. How many times it is accumulated. Based on that, there is slight difference. That's all. It is unwholesome accumulated, it becomes evil. The evil accumulated, it becomes sin. Something like that you can remember. Now, in Pali language, this unwholesome is called akushala. Wholesome is called kushala. Unwholesome means akushala. It's not wholesome. It's not like, say, beneficial for me and for others. That is the meaning of wholesome. Wholesomeness means what? It is completely good for everyone. This wholesome action means like it is good for me, good for others. Good now, good later. While thinking it is good, while performing it is good. After performing, its repercussions, its consequences are also good. So that is the meaning of wholesome. The wholesome, holistic. So that means like good for me, good for others. Good now, good later. Good in the beginning, good at the end, good at the middle, good at the middle, good at the end. So that is what is called wholesome. So all actions which say satisfy these principles, these rules of good at beginning, good at the middle, good at the end, good now, good later, good for me, good for others. If these principles are met by some of the actions, whether they are the mental actions, the oral verbal actions, or the physical actions, the different actions, if they fit into these principles, that satisfy these principles, then they are called the wholesome actions. Like say generosity. Generosity or your ability to give, ability to share. It is good for you, good for others. Good now, good later. Good in the beginning, when you're planning that you want to give, you feel happy and you feel that wholesome, you feel that purity. Good means what? It purifies your mind. It gives that inner joy. That is what is the meaning of good. So in the beginning of making a generous action, so you feel good. You feel that inner joy, and while performing also you feel that inner joy. After performing, when you remember that also you feel that joy, that pure inner joy, that purity, and the joy that you experience from that purity. That is what is the meaning of good. And of that good is experienced in the beginning, in the later, in the middle, while performing, for me, for others, for everyone. So such actions are called wholesome actions. The actions which are opposite to that, which are biased, which are say give you some excitement, not the true joy, not the true happiness, not the true inner happiness. It may simply stimulate you for a moment, and later it will torture you. It will create problem for you. While thinking, it may give you, before performing, while thinking, while planning, it may give you some thrill. But while performing, it may not give so much thrill. After performing, you repent, you start regretting, you start worrying. Then they are not wholesome. Then they are not good. They are not good at the end. They may be good at the beginning because of that temporary thrill that may give, that thought may give you. While performing, it may give a little bit of thrill, or it may not give. At the end, it may not give. While remembering it, it may not give that thrill or that joy. Rather, you start worrying about why I have done this. So that kind of actions are unwholesome, whether it is mental actions, verbal actions, or bodily physical actions. So in that way, you should understand the wholesomeness in your thoughts, in your speech, in your activities, in your actions. So it should give you that true peace, true joy, true happiness, which comes from the purity of mind, which comes from letting go, which comes from coming out of the defilements like greed, hatred, and delusion. So that kind of joy, if you are focusing, if you have understood, and if you are looking for that kind of joy, then you understand the wholesomeness. Then you can understand the wholesomeness in your thinking, in your actions, in your speech. For example, let us some intoxicants, let us say. While planning with your friends, you may get some kind of thrill. Oh, we should take intoxicants. While taking intoxicants, maybe sometimes you may feel some kind of high, sometimes you feel a lot of bitterness, a lot of irritation also. So after that, when you remember, you may feel bad. Or after taking the intoxicant, the body may not be very comfortable, the mind will not be comfortable, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and even the chemical reactions in the body and mind, they create some kind of pain, some kind of suffering for you, some kind of dizziness, so many things. And also the shame that you experience, the fear that you undergo, what other people will think, what the government will think, what the law of the land, what is the law of the land about this taking intoxicants. All those worries, all those fears, all those thoughts will start emanating from your psyche. And you again repent for it, start developing a lot of, say, remorse. So because of that reason, it's called unwholesome. So in that way, you should have that complete picture of one particular action from beginning to end, and also after the action, whether it is giving me happiness or not, whether it is creating more joy, more peace, more freedom, more wisdom, or whether it is fixing me, whether it is pushing me into this kind of fear, worry, remorse, repentance. So in that way, you should classify your actions, your thoughts, your speech. So then you are developing the wisdom of knowing what is unwholesome, what is wholesome. If that unwholesome, if it keeps accumulating, if you are keep ignoring the results of unwholesome and keep repeating it, then it becomes evil. You fall into the trap of evil. If you fall into the trap of evil with more intensity, with more ignorance, then it becomes a sin. Papa, in Pali language, it's called Papa. So for all these unwholesome, you can call it as akusala, and for evil and for sin, you can call it as Papa. And Buddha gives so many discourses about this Papa, and we will see some of those verses that Buddha talks about this Papa Vagga. So there are so many verses. We'll just go through. There are very profound, very beautiful, very inspiring verses about say how to avoid evil, how to understand evil, how to come out of the grip of evil. Very inspiring verses that we will see. Then you will get some comprehension, some idea about this evil and how to avoid evil. And also you develop some kind of strong confidence, strong faith to come out of the grip of evil, the trap of evil. You will get some confidence. That is the idea for selecting this topic for this today's Dhamma talk. So what Buddha says, hasten to do good, be fast, be quick to perform good, restrain your mind from evil. That is what is the essence of all Buddha's teaching. Sabba papasa karana, kusalassa upasampada, sachitta paryodapana, etan buddhana sasanam. So what does it mean? Sabba papasa karana. Completely understanding what is unwholesome, what is evil, what is sin, and not doing it. Akarana means not doing it. All evil, understand properly and avoid it properly. Don't do it. That kind of understanding is very, very important. So all these Dhamma topics, listening to Dhamma, which should make you to understand what is evil and why it is evil, and why one should avoid it, and how one should avoid it. So that he can become more wise, more happy, more free. So that kind of comprehension you should get. And that's what is the essence of all Buddha's teachings. That's what Buddha says. Sabba papa sakarana, not doing all kinds of evil things, not even one kind of evil, and by correctly understanding them and not doing them. Kusalasa upasampada, cultivating, developing in kusala, in wholesomeness, avoiding akusala and evil papa, and cultivating upasampada means cultivating, developing, progressing in the wholesomeness, again correctly understanding what is wholesome, how it is wholesome, how to develop wholesome, what are the consequences of wholesome, how one can achieve the true happiness, true peace, true joy, true health by cultivating the wholesome. By having this thorough comprehension, one should cultivate it. What is called Kusalasa Upasampada. Sachitta Paryodapana. Thoroughly cleaning your mind. Paryodapana means washing away the mind and removing all the defilements. Sachitta means completely the mind. The mind should be completely freed from all kinds of defilements, all kinds of stains, all kinds of dirt. Completely washed. So that is what is Etang Buddhanas. That is what is the teachings of Buddha. Etang Buddhanasas. That is the teaching of. That is the teaching of. In each and every word of Buddha, you can see all these three things. He motivates you to understand and to come out of these evil things, and it motivates you and makes you understand what is wholesome and cultivate them, develop them. And in each and every word of Buddha, it will help you to fix the root of all the unwholesome. It's not at the superficial level. Buddha's efforts are not to simply cut the branches and say the trunk of the unwholesome. It is to completely remove the unwholesome from the root. That is what is the purpose of all Buddhas. So that is what is Etang Buddhana Sasana. That is what is the Buddha's teaching. They work at all these three levels. They will make you to understand the evil. They will make you to remove evil, avoid evil. And they will make you to understand what is wholesome, and they will motivate you, help you to progress in wholesome. And not only just the superficial, both these things. Avoiding evil, cultivating good. It also helps you to cut the problem from the root. Sachitta Paryodapana, thoroughly removing all the defilements from the mind. So the root problem is also removed in while you going through the teachings of Buddha. So that's what is the essence of Buddha's teachings is given in this small verse. Sabba papa sakarana, kusalasa upasampada, sachitta paryodapana, etang buddhana sasana. The Buddha's dispensation, Buddha's teachings, nothing but these three things. So as a continuation of that, what Buddha is talking about here in this, hasten to do good. Don't hesitate or don't be lazy to do good. And the opportunity is there. Immediately plunge into action, plunge into that wholesome action. Because all the time you don't get that opportunity to perform the wholesome things. Once that opportunity gets, don't delay, don't hesitate, don't be late. Hasten, be quick, be fast in grabbing that opportunity and performing that action quickly, immediately. Then restrain your mind from evil. Not only hastening yourself to do good, at the same time you should be cautious enough, you should be careful enough, you should be mindful enough to know something, some action as evil, as unwholesome, and immediately again you should restrain yourself. You should avoid that evil, you should restrain yourself, you should control yourself not to perform that evil action. He who is slow in doing good, his mind delights in evil. Why? why this kind of carefulness is required, either in performing the good quickly or in avoiding the evil quickly. Because when you hesitate to do good, then immediately the mind falls into the other thing, the opposite side. It will fall into the opposite side. What is that opposite side? It will start, say, enjoying the evil. If it is unmindful, if it is not careful, if it is not quick enough to note the good, plunge into the good, then the nature of the mind is to fall into the other side, fall into the other shore. What is the other shore? Other shore is the shore of evil. The mind has only two options, either to capture and to plunge into wholesome and good and start deriving the happiness of good. If it misses that, then the mind automatically will fall into the trap of the evil. So because of that reason, you should be fast enough, you should be quick enough in plunging into wholesome actions and avoiding the unwholesome and not getting trapped into the evil things. The point here is in this verse, the beauty of the knowledge here is, the wisdom here is, always think about good, try to grab the opportunities to perform good. So if you hesitate, if you are late in that, then natural consequence of the mind is to fall into the opposite side, the other side, that is the evil side. Because of that reason, should be quick enough to identify the good and start performing the good actions. Should a person commit evil, let him not do it again and again. Let him not find pleasure therein, for painful is the accumulation of evil. So once or twice, as I was telling you, maybe because of the wrong influences, the wrong circumstances, the wrong companionship, the wrong association. Let us say if you have performed some evil actions, but be careful, arise, awake quickly, realize quickly that this is evil, and again avoid such companies or circumstances, such association. Don't repeat it, because that is again one more problem. Once you have unmindfully tasted some unwise pleasures in some unwholesome actions, then that kind of unconscious, unwise pleasures, they take imprints into your psyche. They start percolating into your mind, and that will make you subconsciously to perform that evil again and again. So don't fall into the trap of continuous performance or continuous indulgence in the evil actions. Arise quickly, come out of it quickly. Let him not do it again and again. Let him not find pleasure therein, and realize how, say, temporary is that pleasure, how the pain as an automatic consequence of that will follow, and how horrible is that pain, how haunting is that pain, how haunting is the pain of unwholesome. Be aware of that, be conscious of that, be alert of that, be mindful of that, and come out of it quickly. Once or twice, though you might have fallen trap into that, immediately come out of it, immediately avoid it. Because for painful is the accumulation of evil. As I told you, again and again, if you do, then the consequences will definitely come. Once or twice, if you do, the consequences may not come, because you are substituting with your positive actions, wholesome actions, then they will dissolve. The wrongful actions, the unwholesome actions, the results of it, they will dissolve if it is only for once or twice. But if you keep on doing it, then it will accumulate. That accumulation is danger. That accumulation becomes a solid karma, very heavy karma. And the heavy karma, it can't escape from the results. So the results will come back to that accumulated karma, and then you will experience horrible pain, lot of pain you will experience. So because of that reason, once or twice, if you indulge in these harmful actions, uh, come out of it quickly. Don't repeat it. That's what is Buddha's advice. Should a person do good, let him do it again and again. Just like avoiding evil again and again, the same way the good should be performed again and again. Start understanding the beauty of the good, the beauty of the wholesome, the beauty of the there's positive or wholesome or these meritorious things, meritorious actions. Derive the pleasure, the true pleasure in it. And again, do it again and again. Then automatically the evil things will not percolate into your mind. The evil thing becomes weak. And there is no time. There is no space for the evil to penetrate into your your actions or your thoughts or your into your mind. So because the mind is so busy always in thinking about good, performing good, planning good, getting the beautiful consequences, the results of good, and enjoying that, the mind gets into this positive cycle, and it can escape from the vicious cycle of the evil and the evil actions. And there's no scope for the evil to enter into this positive cycle. Your mind has been into this positive cycle, and there's no scope for the evil to penetrate into this positive cycle of good. Good actions, good planning, good actions, good repercussions, and the development of the purity, development of true joy in the mind, and again planning good actions. When you are into this positive action, the wholesome cycle of positive actions, then there is no scope and time or space for the evil actions to penetrate into this positive, wholesome cycle, and you will be liberated from all the unwholesome and all the unwholesome consequences. Let him find pleasure therein, in the repeated wholesome actions. A person should find out the true pleasure, and that pleasure is your motivation. The true pleasure that you gain from the wholesome actions, you comprehend that wholesome pleasure, the true pleasure, or that inner joy, the true joy, then that will be your true motivation, true hold, and you don't feel like escaping from the true joy. Once you are adhere to this true joy, then there is no scope for these evil actions or this untrue or this wrong joy or this corrupted joy. The corrupted joy which the people, unwholesome people, they look for, and because of that reason they indulge in the unwholesome actions. So that corrupted joy, it will not get that sufficient energy to disturb you, because you are into this true joy, this true happiness. Let him find pleasure in therein, for blissful is the accumulation of good. So that gives you the true bliss, the true liberation, the true peace, the true freedom and wisdom, all these wholesome actions, all these meritorious actions. So because of the accumulation of these meritorious actions, you establish in this absolute true joy, absolute true purity, true liberation. It may be well with the evil doer as long as the evil ripens not. But when it does ripen, then the evil doer sees the painful results of his evil deeds. That's what is the karma ripening, the ripening of karma. So that's what you can see. Some people do, though they indulge in a lot of wrongful actions like bribery, like corruption and all. So immediately they may not be caught. Well, once they keep repeating it, but say maybe 1 or 2 years, they may escape from the police, from the government, from the legal persecution. But if they keep accumulating it, then they will be caught. Then everything they lose. That's how the action works. That's how the karma works in the human world, especially in the human world. It takes some time for everything, even to reach it, for the threshold, anything. To reach the threshold, it requires some accumulation. if whether it is good or bad, if it gets accumulated and when it reaches the threshold, then only the consequences will start, say, they'll come into picture. The repercussions one will face, the results one will start facing. So because of that reason, you don't think that by doing some good, I am not getting the good result, don't feel bad, you don't develop that worrisomeness. So immediately you will not get the good results for your good actions. At the same time, should have this knowledge, this wisdom that, oh, I have done some unwholesome action, the whole world is saying it is unwholesome, so I have done, I am not getting any consequences, any results of this. No. So once or twice you may escape, but once you get addicted to it and get trapped by that unwholesome action, and you keep performing that, keep accumulating that that evil action, then you can't escape. You will get back the results for your evil action. So in that way, that threshold, that accumulation is the crucial thing. If that is achieved, either good results or the bad results, definitely you have to go through, you will get it. That's how the karma works. So because of that reason only, Buddha is warning. Once or twice you might have done some evil, it's okay, don't be aware, come out of it quickly. Once or twice if you have done good, don't feel bad that you are not getting the results, keep doing it continuously, then it will accumulate and you will start getting the good results. Success also same thing. In any field, in the worldly level also. It's not only the true joy, true happiness, true liberation and peace and all these things, wisdom and freedom that I'm talking. Even the success, continuously, repeatedly keep on doing some action which you think that it will take you to success. That repetitiveness only will bring you the success. Once or twice I am not getting success, means you are a fool. The same thing holds good with your happiness also. The true happiness also you will get, the good also you will get by repeated performing of the good actions. It may be ill with the doer of good as long as the good ripens not. But when it does ripen, then the doer of good sees the pleasant results of his good deeds. Yeah, just like the evil results you will get the continuous performance of evil actions. The same way, the good results you will get by the continuous performance of good actions. Think not lightly of evil, saying it will not come to me. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the fool gathering it little by little fills himself with evil. Here, Buddha is giving a simile of the water-filled pot. So, even though drop by drop you are getting the water in your pot, oh, it is not filling, the pot is not filling, but continuously keep on 1 hour, 2 hours, it may not fill, but the next day when you come and see, the water is full in the pot, even though it is drop by drop. Not only filling the water, even it can actually it can carve, it can even make a hole on a stone slab. Keep the water even in the form of drops, if it keeps on falling on a stone slab, it can create a hole. That is the power of continuity of practice, whether it is good or bad. It can give the wonderful results. If you are doing the good actions continuously, then you will get the wonderful, very great, good results. The same thing holds good with the bad actions. Keep repeating, keep doing it again and again, then it can create a hole on a stone slab also. It can, even a big pot can be filled, even though it is a very small drop. But because of that continuation, because of that repetition, Even a big pot can be filled with that, with those drops of water. The same thing with the good also, the same simile Buddha is giving. Keep doing the good actions, even though drop by drop. That like generosity, even though every day maybe little bit of generous action, little bit of food, a little bit of contribution, little bit of some kind of generous action. If you're doing every day, day by day, day by day, then it becomes a wonderful punya, wonderful farmi. It may take you to very great, higher realms of bliss. So don't hesitate to do. Oh, it's a very small good action. Why should I? So if I give, well, let me give 1 rupee. Let us say, if your mind says, well, let me give some 1 rupee to somebody. So don't hesitate to give. Oh, it is very small amount. Just the thought comes, just give. And again, tomorrow also you feel like giving, and keep giving it. Then that itself becomes a great punya, great merit, and it may become parmi also. Even the Sheila, don't hesitate. Oh, non-killing this, taking these 5 precepts one day. This is not like 227 precepts. So what of all these 5 precepts, or even 1 precept also? Don't ignore the power of even 1 precept, power of even 1 small generous action, power of meditation. Oh, half-an-hour meditation, in what way it will help you? Don't ignore, thinking that it is very small. All these meritorious actions. All these meritorious actions, even though they are very small, but when they are repeated, they will become very powerful. They will become very strong and very great. Just as a trader, a merchant with a small escort and great wealth would avoid a perilous route, or just as one desiring to live avoids poison, even so should one shun evil. A careful person, a careful merchant in those days, ancient days, they have to travel from one place to another place, long distances, through jungles, through deserts. So if the escort, if the security is very less, and if they have a lot of wealth, they avoid such kind of perilous paths, perilous routes. They look for some safe routes, is it not? In the same way, a person who is looking for, say, good profit, that means like happiness, the good, true joy, true success in the life. What he should do, he should avoid so indulging in the evil actions. You should look for the safety. You should look for safety, means the meritorious actions, the good actions. You should always look for the meritorious good actions. That is the safety, that is the protection, that is the security for a wise person. Out of hurriedness, out of some say quick success, immediate success, selecting the route is also important. The route is full of demerits, unwholesomeness. You should avoid it for the sake of achieving quick success. Many people, they choose the unwholesome actions. That is perilous. That will say perish. That will take you to. That will destroy you. You will be perished if you take such kind of perilous routes. So unwholesomeness is perilous. It will destroy you. So in the same way, who is looking for life, he will avoid poison. So if you're looking for true happiness, true wisdom, you should avoid this poison of unwholesomeness. So that's what is Buddha's advice. If on the hand there is no wound, one may carry even poison in it. Poison does not affect one who is free from wounds. For him who does no evil, there is no ill. Yeah. So it's like a poison, the evil is like a poison. So, so if you want to say avoid the consequences of poison, then you should avoid the poison itself. The same way, if you want to avoid the suffering and the pain, you should avoid the cause of it, that is the unwholesomeness, that is the evil. That is the other way of relating the evil with poison. Like the fine dust thrown against the wind, evil falls back upon that fool who offends an inoffensive, pure and guiltless man. So if you harm the other person, if you inflict pain on the other person, it's like spitting by looking at the sky. It will fall on you. It's Buddha is saying, throwing dust, fine dust against the wind. Against the wind is coming from this side, and if you are throwing the fine dust, it will fall on you only. That fine dust will fall on your face only. Or if you spit at the sky, that spit will fall on your face only. So that is what happens when you insult or create harm for the guiltless or the good people or the inoffensive, the divine people, the holy people. So all this Parabhava Sutta, all the downfall, all the decline, even in the Vasala Sutta also, you become a wretched person, you plunge into, you fall into a lot of sins, and the consequences of sins is like you become a Vasalo, and you fall down or you decline. All this decline, all these consequences of accumulated sin, you become ignorant, you become say very mean person, very wretched, very poor, very disrespected. All these things is because of your continuous, say, evil actions. You continuously disrespect the respectable ones. You become a disrespectful fellow. You will become a cheap person. You continuously, say, arrogant and proud, not inquisitive, not learning what is good, what is bad, and not develop your intelligence, then you will become a foolish, ignorant person. If you continuously become stingy and possessive and selfish, then you become, say, a poor person, a wretched person. If you are continuously like jealous and keep pulling others' legs, envious, then you become very uninfluential, very wretched, very useless person. Nobody will listen to you. So all these things, when accumulated, you end up in this kind of consequences. Either it is poverty, or it is wretchedness, or it is, say, cheapness. All these things are because of the evil actions which coincide with this kind of, say, evil results. So when you're doing them continuously, you end up in that state of existence, or that state of mind. Got it? So that kind of, say, uh, say, not respecting the respectables will make you uh, a, 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 a cheap person, and it will pull you to lower levels of respect, lower levels of wealth, poverty. You will fall into poverty, lower levels of intelligence. So why? You are not respecting intelligence, you are not respecting the respectables, you are not respecting, or you are not generous. All these things will make you, all these evil things will make you to fall into that kind of evil states of existence. Some are born in the womb, the wicked are born in hell, the devout go to heaven, the stainless pass into Nibbana. All these different planes of existence that you achieve, not only in the human world, the different levels of existence you achieve based on your actions. If you continuously fall into the trap of evil actions, you will become a wretched person even in this human world. And if it continues, then you will take into, you will take birth in a hell. If that wickedness increases in this life, and with that same accumulated wickedness, if you die, you will take birth in the hell. And if it is not so much, if that wickedness is not so much, you may take another womb, either in animal or human realm. You may take life, you may take birth. Or if you are so much of faith, a lot of purity you have achieved by this generosity, by this morality, by respecting the respectables, then you may take the higher realms like the divine realms, the Deva realms. You will go to heaven. And the completely stainless, all your evils are completely removed with your wisdom, and your mind is completely sachitta pariyodapana. Your mind is completely free from stains. Then you become a liberated person. You pass into nibbana. So that means how much you have understood evil, how much you have fixed the evil, how much quick enough, sharp enough to say escape from the trap of evil. At the same time, the opposite, how quick you are the into performing the good. So these things only will matter for your success or failure in this life, and also in the life hereafter, in the subsequent life. If your evil is relatively less, then you may take the life of another womb, or in the animal or in the human realm. If it is too much accumulation of evil, then you will fall into the hellish realms. If it is you have developed a lot of faith, lot of generous mind, lot of unselfishness, you may become a deva, divine being. And if the mind is completely free from all kinds of defilements, then you pass into nibbana. So it's all the evil that matters for your birth in the different realms. Then neither in the sky, nor in the mid ocean, nor by entering into mountain clefts, nowhere in the world is there a place where one may escape from the results of evil deeds. Yeah, there is one story where some people think that by doing some evil, I can avoid, say, this place, and I go to some jungles or some deep caves, or I go to, say, some mountains, or I may go inside a ocean, and I can save myself from the evil consequences, the evil results. No, wherever you go, the evil results will not leave you. They follow you. The evil consequences, you can't escape. You can't hide yourself from the evil results. There is no physical distance, the physical gap for the evil results to happen, evil results to experience. Even the Buddha had to experience the evil consequences, evil results, even though he became supremely enlightened, because he tortured say one wrestler in one of his previous lives, and he has broken the backbone. He has damaged the backbone of one wrestler, and he inflicted a lot of pain. So the consequence he had to face, even though he became a Sambuddha, once he has to go through the pain, the back pain, because of the evil action that he has done in one of his previous lives. In that way, the evil actions and its consequences and its results, one can't escape. One has to eat the fruits of one's actions. Because of that reason, be careful in your actions. Be wise, be aware, be mindful in choosing the actions, in plunging into actions. Be mindful, be aware, be clear, then you can escape from the evil consequences. Neither in the sky, nor in mid-ocean, nor by entering into mountain clefts, nowhere in the world is there a place where one will not be overcome by death. Yeah, overcome by death means like, so when you are carrying this body and mind, so there is some evil, there is some unwholesome that is responsible. So because of that unwholesome, the body also will perish. Once you got body, then you have to lose the body also. That is what is the trap of the evil. So you can't escape from the death. Just like you can't escape from the death, you can't escape from the evil consequences also. So it's as imminent as death. The evil consequences, the evil results are as imminent as death. So because of that reason, you don't plunge into the evil things unmindfully, unwisely. So that awareness one should develop in discriminating, in identifying, in uh, noting what is evil, what is good, what is unwholesome, what is wholesome. That kind of clear-cut discretion one should have. Then he can escape from the evil consequences, and he will get the good consequences because he has plunged into good actions by avoiding evil actions. So that is what is the teachings of all Buddhas. So correctly understand the precepts, the meritorious actions, all meritorious actions, correctly understand. That is your savior. I tell you, I repeatedly tell you. So your savior, your learning, your wisdom based on how much you have understood about these meritorious actions, wholesome actions. How much faith you have developed in these wholesome actions. How much faith you have developed in this law of action and reaction, law of cause and effect, law of Dhamma. How much sensitive you are towards the wholesomeness and unwholesomeness. That sensitiveness will make you to, it will motivate you to perform wholesome, and it will motivate you to avoid evil, avoid unwholesome. If you are insensitive, then you're like donkeys, like animals. They don't know what is good, what is bad. They simply keep doing unwholesome again and again. Sometimes, because of their ignorance, they may not do so many times. Because human beings, so many times, thinking that they are so wise, so intelligent, they develop crookedness and they fall into the trap of unwholesomeness. That crookedness, they think it as wisdom. Then such people, they can't differentiate between good and bad. They become over smart, they become hypocrites, they become show-off people, they become, untruthful. And because of these reasons, they plunge into the unwholesomeness, because they may think that I can cover, I can hide myself. It's all crookedness, it's all hypocrisy. So you can't hide yourself, you can't hide your, evil actions. When they get ripened, wherever you go, they start giving the results. You can't hide your evil actions. They will definitely yield the evil results. So this kind of understanding, this kind of the perfection in the functioning of this law of cause and action, if you understand law of this karma, if you understand, then you could become very sensitive in noting what is evil, what is good, what is meritorious, what is demeritorious, what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, and you become very critical in choosing them, and you become very smart in selecting and plunging into those things. And without hesitating, without becoming lazy, you immediately plunge into the good actions. You immediately avoid the bad actions. So, because of that reason, you should have a thorough understanding, thorough clarity in this evil and good, wholesome and unwholesome. Okay, I think with this we conclude today's Dhamma talk. If you have some questions, you can ask, and then with one small chanting, we'll conclude. Any questions?
Pranam Bhanteji.
Yes,
Chandrasekhar sir is asking a question. His question has two parts. The first is, what is the difference between letting go, restraint, renunciation, and non-attachment? And the second part is, which one is best to practice among them?
Which one? All are one and same. All are having the same quality, same quality of simply non-adherence. They are this letting go, non-attachment, restraint, control. All these things have the quality of non-adherence. What is the meaning of non-adherence? Just like a drop of water on say on a lotus leaf, on a lotus flower. Simply it is there, not attached to it. At any time it can let go the leaf and it can fall down. At any time it can detach from the leaf. And it has that restraint, it has that control of, it is not under the control of the leaf or the flower. It has its own control, that drop of water. So all these things have the same quality of non-adherence, not being stick to anything. That is what is letting go. That is what is non-attachment. All are same. Next question.
Pranam Bhanteji, there is no other question as of now.
So in that way, so developing the intelligence of evil and good. How it is evil, how to avoid evil, what are the consequences of evil, what is the procedure to avoid evil. So all this clarity one should have. So understand the 10 meritorious actions, understand the consequences of meritorious actions, and avoid the opposite of this. Generosity, the opposite is stinginess, selfishness, possessiveness. Avoid it. That is actually the core defilement. Greed is the core defilement. If you want to come out of the greed, then you should be generous. So then the Sila, the morality. Morality, it is like one very, very, say, it will create a wonderful balance. Good for me, good for others. That kind of great balance we can achieve by practicing the moral precepts. And daily meditation practice, it will cleanse the mind bit by bit every day. That repeatedness is very much highlighted in all these verses. Don't give up. If you are realizing, discovering some true happiness in some wholesome action, don't give it up. Keep performing it again and again, out of laziness, out of say negligence. Don't give up in performing those good things again and again. So even apachena, respecting the respectables, vayavacha, service, influencing other people about the importance of this meditation and all, importance of these temporary actions, influencing others. That is one best service. So in that way, if you keep again and again repeating these good things, wholesome things, meritorious things, it will protect you from the influx of the negative things, the negative influence. In that way, cultivate your minds. This is the best and the easiest, and this is the preliminary steps that one should think of before achieving jhanas or nibbana or liberation. Understand this, the different actions that you are into in the worldly life. All of you are householders. You have to perform so many actions, this action, that action. You don't know what is good action, what is bad action. In this confusion of the goodness and badness of actions around you, be critical, be analytical, be cautious, be say discriminative, be descriptive in finding out whether this action is good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, whether it gives me joy while planning, while performing, while after performing also, while remembering. So just analyze, just find out the different things. All these wholesome actions that I have mentioned, the meritorious actions, it has that nature. Those actions have that nature of good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end. While planning, they give you happiness. While performing, they give you happiness. At the end, when you remember them, that time also they give you happiness. It is good for you, good for others. All the people, it is good. And it is good now, and it is good later. It is good hereafter. Even in the subsequent lives also, they are good. They give you the true happiness. They give you the superior realms, the superior wombs, the superior births. So in that way, you understand the actions, their inherent goodness, their inherent badness. You understand and select them quickly, perform them quickly, repeat them if they are good again and again. and don't repeat them if they are bad again and again, though you have done it once or twice. So this is the essence of, this is the summary of today's topic. So with this, I think we will conclude. Once again with one small chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada swati bhavantu te sukhi bhaveyan nidduko aham nicca aham viya idacha me sukhi hontu ma jatta chatavedino माम हि गम्मन्ते धम्मे सत्तहोन्तु सुखी सदा ततो परञ्चारज्येषु चक्रवालेषु जन्तनो साधु साधु सुखी होन्तु मंगल. May all of you be happy, healthy and peaceful. May all beings also be happy, healthy and peaceful. May all of you develop this wisdom, this clarity of what is evil, what is good, what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is meritorious, what is demeritorious, and accordingly keep performing the wholesome, meritorious, good actions, keep deriving the good results. Be happy, be healthy, be wise, be free, be liberated. Okay, Mangal.